we come from a culture and religious background, and I'm not going to sort of throw my religion under the bus, but it does limit our experience because we usually get married without dating, without having sex, without
Which
all
is
of that stuff.
super weird.
Or if we do, which can be weird to people, or if we do, it's always like
This guy.
Muslim dating. It's always like under the table. It's never accepted by family. So you go through these marriages for years and years and years, and then when you get divorced, like me, Muslim man, divorced with 3 kids, and then you encounter Muslim women who the stigma is much higher, and many of them are incredibly accomplished, incredibly educated. They have really high-powered careers. They've rebuilt their life. Many of them are both mom and dad to the kids, or even if the father's around, they're very uh, capable. But they're also very, very particular. As one quoted and told me, we don't want any surprises. We know exactly what we're looking for. So you say the wrong thing in a chat, gone. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, gone.
But do you know what a surprise? Do you know what is a surprise? Life.
So what happens is they have such a particular notion of what they want in someone that they can like you, they can have great conversations, you can go on great dates, right? But what will happen is if something reminds you of their ex or like a past experience, not even just with their ex-husband, but like a man they've dated since they've got divorced, boom, cut, fire.
Done.
Like you are the weakest link, goodbye. Remember that
But
show?
that's not only with Muslim women, bro.
No,
That's just with like
it's 100%. But
damaged women.
what comes out of it though is you bring the religious context into it.
Mm.
Is that like there is still whatever we say, even if people are on the liberal strain of Islam, there's always this feeding back into the system towards marriage. So we're all trying to figure it out, right? And like a lot of people are like, yeah, like even if they're going to date you, there's lots of Muslim women who've had boyfriends and whatnot, and Muslim men, but then eventually people will funnel back into where is this going. And I will say this from the Muslim community perspective, it will happen much faster where it's not socially acceptable in most cases to date someone for 1, 2, or 3 years, live together, have sex, whatever. Like this is, we're talking about like 1, 2, 3 months, right? Even at later stages of your life.
You
And
say
so
1 to 3 months you're getting married?
what I mean is at least that's where it's going, even at this. So what happens is
That's ridiculous. You,
for
you you
divorce,
can't know someone in a month. You can barely
right?
know someone in a year,
So,
bro.
Yeah,
so, so,
it goes quick for them, man.
yeah. So for
Yeah,
but
clearly.
so for divorcees, um, it's like they want to take the time to know someone, but then at the same time, they also want to be very careful and guarded with their heart. So they're like, okay, I'll take time to get to know you, and I'm coming on these app, and we're all talking for the purpose of marriage or halal dating or whatever. And then everyone's got their own skeletons in their closet.
Why
Like
why
everyone,
can't why can't people just talk to talk?
no, people do talk to talk, but I'm saying when you bring a framework under it, an umbrella,
Mm.
then it's always that discourse is always there. So one of the interesting things I've heard always is it's on repeat. Hey, you sound like a really nice guy. You talk really well, but I just don't think we're that compatible.
Mm.
And it's so amazing because it's
The
not
big C
just
word.
it's the c word, and you're just like, man, it's so interesting because as a person, you're like, what is there are periods where you go through like, what is wrong with me? But
But
then you also sometimes have to recognize that
It's
it's
not
not to say
always
that's
you.
anything wrong with you. It's just that people have a very particular definition of their mind. Everyone's entitled to their preference and their choice,
but
but it's a
what
pattern.
happens? It's like what happens is like they haven't even given you the chance, but they're already
Right.
jumping to a conclusion, right?
And you
That
know what a lot of them say? It's so interesting. They're like, I don't want to waste your or my time. But if you don't spend time, how are you going to know? How are you going to grow?
but do you think this
Mhm.
is just superficial mostly?
I think it's, look, everybody is afraid of getting hurt, right?
Yeah.
That's
Then
one.
just go stand in the closet.
And then the older you get, and this isn't just a Muslim thing, but I'm specifically speaking from the Muslim context, the more picky you get,
That's
right?
true.
Right?
That's
The
true.
more picky you get, and it's a weird paradox because everybody's going to have some kind of baggage at this stage of their life.
Yep.
And if you aren't willing to work through some of those things, especially as a divorced person with children, we all got a story, right? The first thing I have to do is unwind to all these Muslim women why I'm not their ex. Well, how are things with your ex? I'm like, listen, man, no offense, we co-parent. I didn't flee the country. I'm not living in some far off place. I'm not in Pakistan and like never see my kids again. So once you have to bring that tension down, you have to go from third to first. I
But-
am a person.
But what I don't understand is why is there always a question on like, how did you and your ex break up? Why does that even matter?
Because I think if you look at PTSD, you look at things, they're like, when I was in my 19s, my 20s, I was naive. I went and maybe it was an arranged marriage, or even if it was a love marriage we met, then I gave up a lot of my life for this guy. I'm not going to do this again.
That doesn't matter. Like it doesn't just literally
That's not up to you. You can determine that.
yeah, but it's not like even just in a Muslim faith. Like just because I broke up with my ex over this doesn't mean that I'm gonna do the same thing with you.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, why does that matter? All you need to know is like, are you still fucking your ex? No, I'm not. How was your relationship? It's good or it's bad. Do I have to worry about her kicking my ass? No, you don't. Those are the questions that people need to be asking, not like, how did you guys break up? Oh, you guys didn't talk? Ah, he's not gonna talk to me. Like, what are you talking about? You've already lived and experienced this relationship in your head that hasn't even happened.
Yes.
And why is
that's
and how is
bang
that and how is that fair to me? I'm just
and
trying to know who the fuck you are. Clearly, you're fucked.
it's compounded, and it brings me to the sort of like the next point is